Okay, so this video is not meant to coincide with the release of the Batman, really. I mean, it's Batman related. I'm ranking all the Jokers, but it was actually suggested by a certain Raccoon Enthusiast, so thank you for that person who knows who they are. So the Joker. Probably Batman's objectively best villain and my own personal favorite. Yeah. I'm wearing a fedora because the Joker commonly wears a fedora, and it's black because I don't have a purple fedora. I really wish I had a purple fedora. Really cool. Anyway, so this is all the Jokers ranked. I only included cinematic ones and ones who are definitively the Joker. So, as great as Cameron Monaghan was, even if he had been in a movie, he still technically wouldn't be able to be on this list because he was never actually confirmed as the Joker. He was Jerome, and he was Jeremiah, and he was Jay, but he was never actually called the Joker, even though he was very obviously intended to be the Joker. He was amazing, but whatever. Okay, so cinematic Jokers who actually are the Joker. Let's do this. In last place is Jared Leto. I don't know. I don't get what they were going for here. So, I think that Jared Leto is not really the big issue here. I just think it's the characterization that is really awkward and bad. He's not good. For one, he's not funny, and, the Joker should be funny, but, everything about him, his design, his, just superficial stuff about the Joker that should be, in there. His laugh is really weird. For some reason, his teeth are, they're grills. I don't get that. He has a weird variety of facial expressions, I don't know. He doesn't really do, classic Joker facial expressions all that much, and even when they are, they're just weird, and, it's not, it's just a weird performance, because it's, and even the design of him, I don't think he looks that good. I don't like that he's shirtless all the time, and of course, because you wouldn't get that the Joker was deranged or damaged or whatever, so they had to tattoo that across his forehead. Yeah, that's important. The Joker likes to laugh. Well, duh, we got a tattoo, ha 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 ha, all across his body. He likes smiling. Oh, he couldn't just smile on his own. They had to tattoo it on his face, and he could do with the whatever. I don't like the performance, and his use in the movie is just really odd. He's used as a wild card, which actually makes a whole lot of sense, but he doesn't have any story relevance at all. He doesn't really need to. I get what they were going for, but it doesn't work for some reason. His relationship with Harley is weird because he actually treats her like a human being, and that's not the nature of what their relationship should be. And this is weird. This is the first cinematic portrayal of Harley and Joker's relationship, and it's just not as good as it should be. I mean, Margot Robbie is great, but I mean, it's just weird. And there was stuff with Jared Leto on the set where how he gave Margot Robbie a rat. Actually, that seems like something that the Joker would do, but I don't know how that relates to this, and I don't know what I'm talking about here, but anyway, Jared Leto's performance is just kind of awkward. It's kind of cringeworthy at points. Again, his laugh. It's something like that. He sounds like George McFly in Back to the Future. I don't know. So, I'm going to do a variety of laughs throughout this video, and they're all going to be not very good, but yeah. And even in the scene he got in the Snyder cut was just, I mean, it was better. It was kind of cool. But he still did the stupid laugh. I don't like how he looks because there's no color to him at all. I mean, there's no color to anybody really, but he doesn't look that interesting. So it's disappointing. I wish Jared Leto had gotten the chance to actually be a good Joker. and someone had given him a couple notes on his performance, and someone had made him look different, but I don't know, he's just not very good. Number 6 is Zack Galifianakis from the Lego Batman movie. Okay, I said in my Batman ranking yesterday, it just got really dark in here. Anyway, I said in my Batman ranking video yesterday that I wish that the Joker in the Lego Batman movie was a bit crazier. Like, I mean, it's kind of missing that element. Like, you can do crazy while being for kids. Like, you don't need to tame him down that much, but for what the character was, I think Zack Galifianakis did a very good job. He and Will Arnett were just so good together. They played off of each other very well. He was funny. He was a very goofy, cartoonish Joker, and he's meant to be that way because he's the Joker, and it's a animated film. I really like his design and how they incorporated this over-the-top design for the Joker into Lego format with the hair and the sharp pointed teeth. Like, that's just a very cool detail. So yeah, it's not a great version of the Joker, but I think he works in the movie very well, and Zack Galifianakis does a very good job at doing something. Why I keep dropping my notebook here. He gives the character a much different voice than the usual animated ones, because a lot of animated Jokers sometimes try to just imitate Mark Hamill, and for good reason. I mean, Mark Hamill is like the gold standard. We'll talk about him later in the video, but I like that he tried to do something new, and I think it worked very well. Like, I feel like Zack Galifianakis doing a Mark Hamill impression would not have been very good, so I'm glad that he did that, but not a great performance, but it works in the movie, and it's enjoyable. Number 5 is Cesar Romero from Batman 66 and Batman the movie. The mustache thing is a bit weird. Like, you can very clearly see his, like, just his thick mustache, not really thick, but his mustache through the makeup. It's, like, gray, and it just got really dark in here. I don't know why it keeps doing... Okay, whatever. Anyway, so, yeah, what was I saying? The mustache thing, yeah. So, it is kind of obvious, but, you know what? This is just a fun performance. He's not really scary, but I don't think the Joker really needs to be scary all the time, especially in this campy of a show and a film. I mean, even in Batman the movie, like, this would never fly today. The Joker is, like, the least prominent of all 4 antagonists. Like, if I had to name, like, a main villain of that movie, it'd probably be the Penguin. He's the one that kind of comes up with the whole scheme. And then Catwoman, she's the one who manipulates Batman. Riddler, because he sets up all the riddles. And then Joker's kind of just there helping out in places. Like, he doesn't really get that much to incorporate into the actual full plan. But he's very good. I think Cesar Romero has a lot of fun with the performance. He's much more of just a goofy prankster than he is a homicidal maniac. But I think he does this very well. And honestly, if Cesar Romero was presented with the challenge of being a scary Joker, I think he could absolutely do it. Because he is a lunatic in this role, and he has a lot of fun. I think he looks very cool. Like, the pink suit, I wouldn't think that would work with the Joker, but it does. It works really, really well. And outside of the mustache thing, I don't really have any problems with this performance. I think he does a very, very good job. Number 4 is Jack Nicholson from Batman 1989, the Michael Keaton film. It's a bit weird how he's credited above Michael Keaton. Like, when the credits start to roll at the beginning of the movie, it goes, Jack Nicholson, Michael Keaton, Kim Basinger, other people. But yeah, so that's a bit odd. And I did talk about this in my video yesterday, how the movie focuses more on the Joker than it does Batman, which is a bit weird. But yeah. It doesn't really matter that much. It's not a huge deal. It's just a bit of a focus issue for the movie. But I don't think there's really any problems with Nicholson's performance. Is he too old? Yeah, probably. But who cares, man? Like, he is phenomenal in this movie. He is crazy. Like, so many lines that he has are so quotable in the way he delivers them. Like, his first scene with where he shoots Carl Grissom, like a lot of the scenes when he's just sitting alone in the shadows, when he's talking to his goons, Bob the Goon, justice for Bob, man. Yeah. And then like a lot of the lines are just so reminiscent of like comic book Joker, like when Batman takes his balloons and he's just like, he stole my balloons. Oh man, he's funny, he's violent, like he blows up this museum and he's genuinely scary at points. Like when he does like the skin tone makeup, that is really kind of terrifying, how it just like melts down his face and he's just doing this crazy smile. I love his smile in this movie. I think his laugh is great. His obsession with Vicky Vale is a bit odd, but you know, again, that's more of an issue with the movie than with his specific performance. I think he does everything, like in terms of a comic Joker, like this is probably the best in live action that we're gonna see, at least at that time, comic Joker. He's crazy. He has so much fun in this movie, and it's a great performance. Yeah. Number 3, might get a bit of Heath for this. It is Heath Ledger. Whoa! When you talk about an actor just totally immersing themselves in a role, Heath Ledger as the Joker is like a prime example of that, because he just creates such a distinct part, like to the point where you can, like, you credit him more for the Joker's role in this movie than you do with the screenwriters, the people who wrote the Joker's lines. He takes those lines and he just adds so many quirky little mannerisms to his performance, how he tells a different story about his backstory, like how his wife couldn't stand the sight of him, how his father was a drinker and a fiend. Yeah, it's such an amazing performance. He is truly insane. How he blows up a hospital. Man alive. I love how the conflicting worldviews between him and Batman, how he thinks that it's like beyond saving, how people are inevitably going to turn on each other, and he wants to watch the world burn. He spends the entire movie plotting to bring down Harvey Dent, and that's not even revealed until the end. He has plans on top of plans on top of plans, while still being an agent of chaos. Not to mention, I think he looks great. I think he sounds great. I think Ledger's line delivery is perfect. Every single line that he has, he delivers perfectly. The exact opposite of Maggie Gyllenhaal as Rachel Dawes in this very film. But you know what? Let's not talk about that. But whatever. It's a phenomenal performance. He truly, absolutely deserved the Oscar. And, of course, he passed away before, I believe before the movie even came out, which is just, oh, man. It's a shame. I'm sure he would have shown up in Dark Knight Rises if that hadn't happened. But this is truly a magnificent performance. Ledger just goes all in, all out with the role. He gives everything to this character, and he's terrifying, and he's phenomenal. Number 2 is Mark Hamill. Whoa, just like, wow. Like, maybe he's not as intimidating as Heath Ledger. Maybe he's not as emotionally tragic as other ones on this list. But every time he appeared in the animated series and in Mask of the Phantasm, I was just really happy, because it's just, every time he showed up, those episodes were so entertaining and so much fun, because he makes the Joker. Heck, he makes this entire show. He might be my favorite element of this series overall. Like, Kevin Conroy, fantastic Batman, absolutely amazing. But if you look at like behind the scenes stuff of this show, Mark Hamill is not just doing a voice here. He is doing all the mannerisms. He's doing the facial expressions, the smiles. He like committed to this role. He even though it's just animated, he immersed himself in the character, and he is fantastic. On top of that, like, all of his mannerisms, his laugh, his look, his voice. His voice is so much fun and so distinct from, like, any other Mark Hamill performance. Like, he has become the gold standard for what the Joker should be, to the point where a lot of other versions of the Joker have tried to imitate him. Like, example, Troy Baker voiced the Joker in a number of things. I don't remember exactly what. I haven't played any of the Arkham games, but I believe he voiced the Joker in that. And, like, he sounds like Mark. He does a really good impersonation of Mark Hamill, but it's an impersonation of Mark Hamill nonetheless. That is how great Mark Hamill was in this role. He is terrifying, which is, like, I'm amazed that this series actually got to be as dark as it goes, because the Joker is just a violent, dangerous criminal who is so ludicrous and psychotic in his ways, and, like, his conflicts with Batman, his relationship with Harley is genuinely terrifying, much more than sometimes what he does to, like, some of his schemes are less terrifying than his relationship with Harley and how he treats her, and, like, making her into a unique, interesting character that now everybody loves. And it's such a phenomenal interpretation of the Joker, and it's hardly an interpretation. It's, like, plucked right out of the comics. And now, if you think about the Joker in the comics, you think Mark Hamill's voice. I kind of do. I don't know. But, yeah, it's such an amazing performance, and Hamill has reprised his role many, many times over the years, and I think this was, like, his first voice acting role, or at least one of his first voice acting roles, and you know what? This is how good he was in this part. The role of the Joker in Batman the Animated Series was offered to Tim Curry. Tim Curry, a phenomenal actor who would have been an amazing Joker, who turned it down for one reason or another, but he did not end up getting the part, of course. And honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. As much as I would love to see Tim Curry as the Joker at some point, but that's not going to happen now because I believe he is wheelchair-bound and doesn't really act anymore, which is... that is a shame. Man. Why? Anyway. But, yeah. I would prefer Mark Hamill in this role over anybody else. Like, he is the Joker. That is who he is, and he has had such an impact on the character in pop culture, in everything, and he's magnificent. But I think there is one performance where the actor was able to give a bit more emotionally, and that is why my number one is Joaquin Phoenix from Joker. Whoa, man. So the movie Joker has been a subject of controversy, I think. Not really, like, kind of controversy. Like, mixed feelings from people, and I don't get why. I think it's amazing, and this is, like, it's not as fun as Hamill's take. It's not as volatile and intimidating as Heath Ledger. It's not as bad as Jared Leto. I don't know. But Joaquin Phoenix gives this performance his all. Like, if you see him in this movie, he looks sick. He looks like he could be broken by a gust of wind. Like, he looks like he lost so much weight for this part, and it's unbelievable. And, again, 100% deserved the Oscar. Like, as much as I love Adam Driver in Marriage Story, he gave a great performance there, and as much as I love Adam Driver as a whole, he should play Batman. But whatever. Yeah, no question. This is one of my favorite performances in the past, 10 years, probably. Maybe my favorite performance of the past 10 years. He was excellent. He was phenomenal. every line delivery, every like monologue that he had where he was just so sad and broken as a person. I think the movie does I'm not that qualified to talk about this, but for what little I know about mental illness, I think the movie does a good job at portraying that, and just like every little hint of seeing him doing something that could lead him to do other things, taking the gun from one of his coworkers just to protect himself, leading to him killing the dudes on the subway who made fun of him, doing the comedy thing where nobody really thought that he was that good, and then Murray Franklin getting it on his show, and just like yesterday, I rewatched the scene with Murray Franklin, that last scene with the society and mentally ill loner, and to treat him like that scene. You know the scene I'm talking about. And Phoenix does such an amazing job at playing both this broken man who is just so sad and messed up and thrown out by society. He's also amazing as the Joker, this over-the-top, flamboyant symbol of insanity, and it leads to the Waynes getting murdered at the end of this movie. And that I did not expect to happen in here. And, like, okay, so the end of this movie is left purposefully ambiguous. I like that. I don't know if, I think the only way I would want a sequel to this movie is if they did Willem Dafoe's idea, where there was an imposter Joker and it was played by Willem Dafoe. But I don't know. Even then, I'm not sure exactly how that would go. So in the end, I don't think we should get a sequel to this movie. But I would take a sequel just to see Joaquin Phoenix's performance again. Because, man alive, he's so excellent and so perfect for this specific incarnation of the Joker that it is no question for me. As great as Mark Hamill is, he's phenomenal. No, Phoenix has got to be number one for me. So, there I have it. That is my ranking of the Jokers. It just got why does it keep getting so dark in here? What's up with this? Oh my god. It's Batman! No, it's not. So, yes, thank you for watching, and keep calm, and watch on.